With all the work we're doing, we're building our inner temple. And that's the most important thing about coming into the temple, is that you know what it feels like so that you can take it inside. And the work that we do, the first thing is laying the foundation. And in this temple, you can see it's a very specific shape. The foundation is very solid. It's also very warm. So if you sit here in the winter, it's easy to sit on the floor. It's easy to come in here. And then to think of what is the foundation that you're building. What have you, in this temple they built it, one foundation, and Swami Radha had to wait, and then they had to blast some of it out and build it again. And so often our foundation, we're doing the same thing. We're going back and maybe having to redo some thinking, some rethinking about our life. And what is it that we've learned from our life that makes us strong, an inner strong core, that inner strength. And so the temple is almost round. It has these 8 sides. We have the foundation. The Kundalini teachings are the basis of those, building that foundation, the characteristics that you want to bring into your life. How do you go through the whole system and find out who you are, what that blueprint is telling you about love, about mind and consciousness, about light, about imagination and emotions, about caring, about your own image, about your emotions and how they can fire you up or spiral you down. So what is it that you want to bring to your foundation? What would make you feel secure? How do you change those emotions into finer feelings? How do you actually care for someone, for yourself? How do you listen? And how does your mind work, and what is your mind? How do you connect with consciousness? So the foundation, we're thinking these things through, we're asking ourselves questions, we're going deeper so that we know what we have and we're able to stand on that and sit on that and come into that. And then what we want to do is, the whole idea of the temple is to have an altar, have a place where the focus is on the divine. So you come into the temple, and that's why you come, for the divine. And our altar is a movable, and it's also adjustable, and we can make it into various shapes for different things. And so there's something that you bring always to the altar. What is it that you're going to do at the altar? Pray, chant, bow down. Prostrations are always good. And then there's the daily care. So in this altar, in this place, we have a fairly big altar and people look after it. And tonight I brought the first rose that's blooming from the yellow rose bush that my mother gave me to grow part of her rose bush here for my spiritual mother. And when I had my altar, then that was one of the things that I like to do, is to make sure that my mother had something fresh. And so you can have all different kinds of altars. To start with, when this building was just being done and just came to live here, that was the next thing that was going up were the walls. And I'd come with a candle, just sit in the middle and chant. It wasn't really the temple yet, but it was. It already had that feeling. And just striking one match lit up the whole place. So it's an amazing thing when you think that it doesn't take that much to make the connection. So why do we build the walls? Well, we want to keep out the bad habits that we've collected over our lifetime. We want to keep out the world, really, so that we have this place where it's just for us. We're building a new us. And I think that's important when we're first starting to build our spiritual life. To have that space that's yours, a safe place. And this is what we think of the ashram, as a safe place to come and do your devotion. You can leave the world behind for a while, and after a while you think, oh, this is my world. But it takes that time to feel the gratitude for having that space and the safety in it. There's a protection. And then you want the roof. And I always think of this roof as the 7th chakra, that 1,000-petaled lotus. There's shape in all the shingles on it. And the roundness of it. And it also has a skylight to let the light in. The light and the air come down. And to know that you're being created by divine light. So that's what we do. We take what we've learned inside and bring it out through divine light invocation. We fill ourselves with light and we give from that place. So a really good practice is to, when you finished your practice, is to do the divine light invocation, and then to know that feeling of the light, of being filled with light and giving from the light. So that when you're with other people, when you're at work, when you're in those stressful situations around the ashram or out, then you can bring the light into it and lighten it up. But it's that inner temple that you want to build. It's that inner space. So that you always have it available. And because the feminine is so important in balancing the world and our own understandings and our own beings, one of the things that Swami Radha wanted was a temple to Divine Mother, just to Divine Mother. And that's what we're building, or redoing next. And going to the building, prayer room on the beach, where she first was, where she first lived, and making it into a temple. In honor of the feminine, in honor of the work that we do, in honor of bringing our world into balance, one person at a time. So as you start realizing your inner temple, even now, just close your eyes and imagine what your temple would look like and how it would fit into your heart center. There's already a center there waiting. I am created by divine light. I am sustained by divine light. I am protected by divine light. I am surrounded by divine light. I am ever growing into divine light.